Okay, next time.
Testing, testing.
you, Ryan?
Seeing any audio yet.
Are you live?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, college sailing. Welcome to the 2019 UConn Avery Point Tyrell Trophy. We are live here with 8 schools. We have UConn, UMass, Amherst College, Sacred Heart, Fairfield, Tufts, and a combined school of UConn and Amherst College. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. We've been on wind delay all morning due to a lack of breeze, but we should be getting a little breeze filling in now shortly. As you can see here, we got schools starting to launch. So here we got Sacred Heart walking through the parking lot, getting ready to launch.
We got people waving.
These college sailors know how to have fun here at regattas, chilling all together. We got tons of people out here for this beautiful day. It's about 70 degrees, sunny. Can't complain. Here we're going to go take a view of the race committee. All alumni of UConn Sailing. In this mark boat, we got Shannon Nardi from 2016 and Chris Baker. It's got to be a little bit of a tough day to set a course when there's so little breeze out. But for those of you that don't know, we're down here at Avery Point in Groton, Connecticut, on the Connecticut shoreline, Long Island Sound, and UConn Sailing used to commute down here regularly for practice and regattas, and have moved their main practice facility up to Coventry Lake, but it's still a great time to get down here for regattas and host everyone. So we're glad everyone can come out and enjoy the place and the venue. First one to launch is Boat 21. That is UMass. We have Adam Gibbs and Elizabeth Dew. Gibbs is set to graduate in 2022. And Elizabeth in 2021. In boat 17 is Fairfield. Fairfield right here on the Connecticut shoreline. We have, for Fairfield, we have Giles Ruck and Serena Eldridge. in the room with us today, we have Will Kresick, a UConn alum, 2015. We have Brian Pracon, a former UConn coach, graduated in 2011. He's the old guy in the room. We got Lindsay Stockwell, graduated in 2014, and all giving us some good technical support and commentary. And our last host in the room is Pete Giuliano, graduated in 2011, and he's just left he's taken a run to out. And he also formerly coached UConn back in 2012. So we have some experienced sailors in the room, and we're excited to give you some live commentary for the races today. Boat 20 sailing out is UConn team. We got Annie Longo and Antonio Pisani. All right, we'll be starting up here in just a minute.
On, Cat. Let me land it.
Grounds crew here setting up the drone for the next flight. Believe they have spare batteries, so we'll be back up in a second to watch from above. Yeah. That's Kat Stavola, graduated in 2014, and Melissa Conway, graduated in 2016. We should be starting the races any minute here. P flag's been taken down, so as soon as the race committee is up and running, they'll get the races going again. It's 12:20. We've been delayed all morning, so just now gotten the wind to fill in a bit, and we'll be ready to go shortly. Audio on. We're just now getting started on races again. We just had 2 minutes. We're coming up on 1.5 minutes here. Unfortunately, we got an obstructed view from our filming location, but we'll get the drone up in just a second to get you some aerial shots of the start and the first race.
unknown indie. Yeah,
Tell
you
me
must
when
be
it's
live.
30.
No, not yet.
I've got some audio input coming in.
We're coming up on the start now. You got all clear on the start.
Right now, about 30 seconds after the start, we got 3 boats out to the left on starboard tack, 19, 16, and 21. And it looks like 19 just crossed onto port.
And 19 is Amherst. They're taking the lead, crossing the fleet on
19 is
port.
Tufts.
Tufts, sorry. As the rest of the fleet crosses or tacks over to match Tufts, they're well underneath. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Brian,
Go.
you want to try to shut down app?
Apologize, guys. We got some technical difficulties with the drone, so this footage will be with us for a few minutes while we fix up the drone footage. And we'll get you back in the air in a minute, get some views of the first race here. We got three in second place, right behind them, Amherst division.
Right now, 2 UConn sailors.
Right now, we have 2 UConn sailors in that boat. Ellen Fuller as skipper and Ben Gormley as crew. Ellen's a freshman, first year at UConn, and it's been really good for them so far this year. Next. All right, guys, you'll have to look at my fat mug for a minute. Right now, we got boat 18 just rounded the offset. That's Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart, we got sailing Brian Hayes and Lauren Scheidler. Followed closely by boat 21. That's UMass. UMass, we had David Schlimach and Alana Jung Kim. They seem just about ready to overtake. As you can see here, we got some drone footage from the parking lot. We're just about to launch. On.
Okay, we're looking at DSLR footage right now from Lindsay's camera.
Okay.
And we do have a drone in the sky. We're just waiting for that feed to clear up again. We're having a little bit of trouble streaming to our broadcasting platform right now.
We had the 2 first boats around the leeward mark. They did a leeward gate split. On the left side of the course, we got boat 16 staying closer to shore.
And boat 16 is Amherst.
And we got a split, and 19 went out right.
That's Tufts with Elena Gonek.
and they're both haven't tacked over yet, so they're holding their course. We got a same time tack, so we'll see how they cross when they come back.
We would like to clarify, we said before that boat 22 is being sailed as a combined fleet with UConn right now. Our 7th team did show up, so that is in fact Bentley College.
One. Looks like we got a close race up the windward mark. Inside on port, we have boat 16. That's Amherst again. Looks like they're going to get room on Tufts. Rounding the mark now, tacking over onto starboard, just inside of Tufts. And first place is Amherst, followed closely by Tufts once again.
Bentley
In third
coming into
place,
the mark now.
yeah, boat 22 is Bentley. A little late start this morning, but they came out hot. Third place at the second upwind. Boat 21 coming in at fourth at the windward mark. That's UMass. Roll tack over onto starboard and heading over to the offset. We got a little breeze filled in today after that early wind delay. These boats seem to pick up a little speed on the downwind. Boat 18 to the windward mark, Sacred Heart, fifth place, followed by 17 Fairfield.
Looks like we had a little split downwind. The two top boats, 16 jibed away to get a little clean air. And now it's back on starboard tack going downwind. And potentially 19 might have just moved out to a forward position. We'll see how it plays out at the end. We got them on camera now. They're coming about halfway down the leg, going in for the finish.
We're working hard to resolve these technical difficulties, but in the meantime, I think we can all be thankful for the fact that the leaves haven't come into these trees yet.
Very thankful. score.
Race 2 is starting shortly. They just blew the 3 minutes. We'll get you the results from race 1 shortly. We're still experiencing some technical difficulties, but we'll get you updated soon. We are in business.
is a lovely view of UConn Avery Point as we come in for fresh battery and prepare for race number 3. Well, close enough.
Are you getting married there or something?
Audio. All right, guys, welcome back. We got our volume all set now. I think you couldn't hear us during that last race, but we had bomb commentary, so it's
We'll
a
get the next
shame,
one.
but we'll get you up for the next one. We'll get the drone back in the air after these rotations. It was a tight race there. We had Amherst pulling out the win in that last race, and now they're tied with Tufts, each with a 1-2.
Boats are rotating now. if you wanna let us
Yeah,
know.
boats are rotating now, and we're going into B fleet. We got, all the schools getting ready to go out. We have a couple young skippers in B fleet. We got 4 freshmen that we know of skippering in B fleet, and 2 sophomores. So it'll be good to get some younger kids, some good experience. Leave the room.
All right, so for B Fleet, you got UConn going into boat 21. UMass is going in 22. Amherst is rotating into 17. Sacred Heart's going into 19. Fairfield going into 18. Tufts going into boat 20. And then Bentley going in boat 16. We also have our race committee today on the finish boat is Chris Baker and Shannon.
And they're updating text score
yeah,
as
so if
we
you
go,
want-
so live results are available
Exactly.
on text score, and it's close regatta so far as you can expect from 2 races, but yeah, we're doing well.
And it sounds like we just got a radio confirmation that they're starting race number 1B. So we're gonna about a 3-minute sequence. We're getting our drone back up in the air. We'll have good audio hopefully this time. But like I said, if anything breaks up, just give it a refresh and on your YouTube watch, and hopefully you get better audio in this round.
Yeah,
Especially if you notice significant lagging, just refresh the page.
Yeah.
coming in. Yeah, I mean, so far right now we have Amherst and Tufts tied at 1, followed by Bentley and Sacred Heart, Fairfield, UMass Amherst, and Connecticut. So 7 schools tightly contested.
Yep.
And we should be getting going here on the second race shortly.
And definitely the breeze definitely filled it a little bit more in. So we'll get looks like the boats are picking up a little more speed. And like we saw last time, I don't know if you heard the audio or not, but we had the skippers moving outside the boat a little bit, keeping the boat flat. We got FJs out there with the square top mains. They create a little more power than your normal FJ. So this lighter breeze, they handle really well.
Yeah, now that we got some audio or visual on our faces, we got four alumni here behind the camera. To my left, I have Brian Pracon, former UConn coach, 2011, graduated too. We got Pete Giuliano to my right, graduated in 2010 and coached UConn in 2011. We have Lindsay Stockwell up behind. She graduated in 2014, and Will Kresick, I graduated in 2015. And we all UConn alum and know the area pretty well. We sailed here, we traveled down for practice and everything else. We have an extensive support crew here, and with everyone involved. All right, guys, this is the first race in B fleet here. Approaching the windward mark here. We'll get you a good shot momentarily and see how the results are shaking out. Sorry about the extreme technical difficulties we've had so far, but we're getting going here, and hopefully you guys get some good footage and audio, and we'll get you some information.
We got, looks like boat number 16, which is Bentley, out in the lead. Followed up by, it looks like boat number, it's a green sail number 2.
I don't know, but it looks like Bentley out in the lead. That would help them significantly in the finish order here. I mean, sitting in third place overall. You got boat 20 close behind them. That's Tufts. So Tufts really wants to stick ahead. They, they're tied for first right now. It looks like they're cutting over on starboard when Bentley stayed over on port. You followed back closely by 21. That's UConn boat. It's a close race to that leeward mark here. Looks like boat 20 there, that's Tufts. It could get inside here and get room on 16 Amherst. They've been covering them the whole downwind leg after they made the move to the inside. But we'll see. It looks like Amherst or Bentley's giving them room.
Yep.
Good rounding there.
And we got 19 Fairfield coming around third. It looks like they're staying to that left side leeward mark.
Yeah, if Bentley wants to get out in front of Tufts and catch up, they're going to have to tack behind here.
It's going to be close because you got Fairfield right behind.
Yeah, is that
Sacred Heart?
19 is Sacred Heart. Looks like Bentley's kind of got smothered there. Now's their opportunity to tack over, but
there they go. They go.
And based on A division, it would be smart for Tufts if they stayed over to the left. That left side was really paying off. So they are tacking over to stay with the fleet.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to try to cover the fleet coming across. They're not going to take it too far. You just play it safe.
So they're on that favored side, left side, and just covering the fleet.
Now I didn't know if anyone was staying further left. They kind of gone out of the camera frame right now, but. Was there any other boats over there?
There's one that we don't know where it is. We got 7 boats here in the regatta, and I see 6. But I don't know, that boat in the back seems to have gone to the far right side. I don't know how that'll pay off for them based on what we've seen in the A division, but.
I thought there was a boat coming over here.
There is, yeah.
One.
All right, we clearly have a top 3 here right now with Amherst, Bentley, and I think that
was Tufts.
Yeah.
Tufts is going to be this guy right here. And
Tufts is inside, yeah.
Yeah, putting out the lead. He tacked over to cover the fleet. It looks like he was able to. He's in good position right now coming into this windward mark. He'll make one tack and on the ley line to round the last upwind beat.
We really are seeing some fleet separation here. Those back 2 boats are a little bit behind, but
we got a split back there.
Credit to them. They're racing hard, and they got a split, and they're racing. As long as you're racing with other people, that's fun. So.
Yep. We got looks like boat number 19, the skipper. We got it working out the boat and hanging out a little bit, keeping the.
Boat 19, that's Sacred
Heart. Tacking over. Let's see how it comes over. They cross 16.
They'll cross clean, and boat 16
they were on starboard.
Anyway,
just we'll see if they. If
Fairfield can make the mark here, I don't know if they're on lay or not, but looks like they are. They could gain some ground on Tufts and maybe make a pass on the downwind.
We got a little wind shadow coming into this because Tufts did tack over on top of them.
And you saw boat 21 went wide to the left side. That was favored side, and they gained a lot of ground.
That's what I was talking about. That one boat that we didn't see in frame. That's 21 coming out. Look at this.
And 21, that's who's that? That's UConn.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They caught back up.
Okay.
Wow, and they seem to have snuck in there ahead of Bentley.
Yeah. So that was that left side paying out. I mean, we saw Tufts tacking over to command the fleet. The one straggler staying out left, and they
stayed out a little further than the rest of the fleet. Tufts was covering the top boats and didn't disregarded that UConn boat in the back, and they seem to have gained a ton of ground on that upwind beat.
Yeah, we saw that it was 3 boats. Now we got 4 in the running. And this is the finish. We're coming up. This is the last downwind leg of the finish.
We got 20.
So-
Look, UConn now. They're outside. They're covering Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
They can make a pass here.
Oh, for sure.
And they've gone out in the reach. Those other two boats are staying on wing and wing, and now Tufts is going back to wing on wing. We'll see if that reach leg and going back to wing on wing later than other boats really pays off for them.
And who do we have in boat 21 right now? We got UConn.
21B fleet. We got Ryan
Ryan.
Young skippering. He's a
Yeah.
sophomore. His youth and it doesn't seem, as a sophomore, you don't have that much experience on the college circuit, but
Yeah.
it seems to really have paid off paying attention to that favorite side.
Yep. There we go. That's
His
good.
crew is Evan D'Agostino, also a sophomore. So young skipper and young crew, and
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's going to be
credit to
close.
them.
Now the question is, did they jibe over onto?
yeah, it looks like Tufts here in front jibes over.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
it looks like that right now they're overstanding the mark a little bit. If they're heading wing on wing, it's hard to tell at this angle, but I'm not sure if they're going to have to jibe back over to finish boat 21. Because you got 16 and 19. That looks like they'll be laying the finish line.
I mean, they might have made a questionable call
Oh, there
here.
they
They
go.
stayed way far out and decided not to cover Sacred Heart and Bentley on the downwind.
Yeah.
And they really had a chance there to slow down their competitors, or at a minimum stay with them. And it looks like they might have lost Sacred Heart here, and it might be close with Bentley now.
And it looks like Tufts clearly got the win on that one. Boat
Yeah,
number 20
Tufts,
just
that's
finishing.
Lara Anders and a skipper, and crew Jessica Friedman, both freshmen. So
Oh,
credit
wow.
to them with
Yes.
the big win.
And Tufts has always done well at this regatta. They send down their teams, and this regatta is a fun regatta.
Oh, it
and-
looks like UConn might sneak in
Oh.
there. Oh, wow. If that's the case, they snuck in there with a big second place.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check. We're gonna check scores on that one. See
Yeah,
how
followed
the
by
boats finish.
Sacred Heart and then Bentley. That's a turn of events there. We
Yeah.
thought they were smothered taking that jibe out on the outside.
I know. It was close. It was definitely close. They came back and they who knows? Let's see how.
We'll
let's see how it
let you
plays
know
out.
the results as soon
But
as
that
we
was
get
that
up to
was
the
that
race
boat
committee.
again. That was that boat that stayed out left on
Yeah.
that second upwind beat. The one that didn't tack over the rest of the fleet, held out to the corner, and they said, "Hey, we're going out left. We're gonna try to get back in this race," and they did, and potentially they might have got a second on that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see as soon as we get the results. But in the meantime, let's go back to these back boats
Yep.
and see what's going on with them. They're in it.
And
These
now-
results matter. Every result matters.
Remember,
in
we
college
saw
sailing,
the
so-
split, and they're still pretty much together right here. So
Yeah.
this is definitely we got a race still on hands.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. I mean, once again, all these results matter. A fleet is combined with B fleet, and they don't get any throwouts in college sailing. So
Yeah.
you got to be on your game for every race. We got 17. That is
Bentley.
Amherst. Amherst 17, and we got. I think that's 18. 18
Fairfield.
is Fairfield.
yes,
So 7. Amherst had a big A division. They came out strong. They had. I think they had a 1-2. Was that Amherst?
2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Amherst had a 2-1. So, so this might hurt them a little bit here, but hope there's still a bunch more races, and
Yes.
B division
Yeah,
has another chance. The second race here before
Yeah,
the
it's only
rotation.
1:15, so we got get to
Yeah,
sail till about
probably at least
3:30.
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably at least another rotation. So.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yes, Shannon?
Yeah, it looks like we'll get 17 here finishing Amherst, and then followed by Fairfield. So. And here we are. We're setting up for the second race. Hopefully, get you
Yeah.
some good footage here.
Yeah,
of the second
I think we
race.
just got everything just dialed. We're working through this. Like I said, we're broadcasting. We got the team alumni coming back and helping out, and we're working through all the glitches right now. But we got the drone in the air for race number 2B.
Yep.
We got the audio live, and we getting good feedback. And I'd like to thank all the viewers right now sticking with us and enjoying the broadcast.
5 viewers.
We got
doing
5
really well.
viewers right now. This is great. Shout out. You know,
We're 2 of them.
shout out to, I got a little
Zero,
text message
zero.
from Carrie, of old alumni, 2011. Gave us a little shout. She's traveling on the road and tuning in on her phone, and you know,
Yeah,
it's
hopefully
great.
next time we'll get this video feed up earlier, and we can get you some good footage right off the bat.
Before the next race starts, we do have the results from that last race. So that was Tufts in first place.
And Tufts with the freshman skipper and freshman crew made a
There
good
you go.
pair.
They've
Yeah.
got a really
Yeah.
strong sailing program.
Yeah.
They always do well like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're the top-ranked school here. So I think that we said they were 20th in the country so far this year, and I don't know. These skippers might have been on one of the better teams.
All right, in second place, that was UConn. They did sneak out ahead.
Okay.
Right behind them in third was Sacred Heart, and then Bentley.
Close.
So those were the
Really
3 that we
close.
saw fighting
Yeah.
out for that
And-
finish.
Wow.
Man, that left side of the course right there. And
Yeah, paid off.
yeah. So we just heard the start sequence going. So right now it sounds probably about 2.5 minutes left right now. So we're gonna hold the drone in this position, and let's see how this race plays out. Right, we got the second
Yeah.
race. So now these guys already had one race on course. They kind of saw how the top finishers played out and where they sailed on course. Got a little feel for the boats.
We'll see if any of them pick up on that big UConn gain that they had, and we've been seeing that even in the A division, that
Yes.
left side really paid off.
Yeah.
We're
And,
coming up on 2 minutes.
And that left side, I don't know, later in the broadcast, we'll get a little pan of the point that we're dealing with. And, you know, that wind comes around. You're probably getting a little lift around the point.
Yeah, usually that's what happens around here.
Yeah.
The experienced sailors in the area, like maybe some of the UConn sailors who've been down here for a lot of regattas might know. You know, we get a little bit of a bend around that point. Coming up on 2 minutes now. See if we can hear the whistle. $20. Oh, my. Looks like we're about 20 seconds in here, so they're setting up on the start line here for the last 15 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like boat number
That's
19.
10 right there. So
19
we're coming up
is
on.
Fairfield.
We're looking at
Sacred Heart.
5. Oh,
We got an all clear.
that was an all clear.
I believe that was an all clear.
Wow, it looks like it was an all clear.
Now,
Our timing was a little off there, but we saw the start here. 19 first off the line by the pin and going out wide left. Once again, 19. That's Sacred Heart.
And see, this is now this shot right here. You can see how the point of Avery Point comes around, and I think that's getting a little bit of the breeze to clock. When these guys on starboard are gonna start getting headed, and that's their opportunity to tack over and get a nice lift to the windward mark. That boat number, I think that was 19.
Yeah, 19. That's Sacred Heart.
Yep.
They just tacked across the fleet.
Yep.
And you can see it way out in front. They're crossing everyone.
And it looks like boat number 21 tacked out first. That's the UConn boat. Oh, no, now they're coming back to kind of ladder back up. Let's see how it pays
Yeah, I think
out.
they just want to get some clear air. They didn't have
Yeah.
a great start, so get some clear air off the line.
And they're on starboard now, so anyone that's trying to cross back over, they'll at least have the commanding position coming across. And we're chasing them down.
Yeah,
right
not
here.
too far behind boat 20 and 16-20. Once again, Tufts, that good freshman combo. And 16, we got who's in 16 again?
Bentley. That's Bentley.
Bentley, yeah.
Yep.
We don't know their names, unfortunately, but they've been sailing well so far. That Bentley A and B fleet. Wow, it looks like it's really filling in toward the top of the fleet. You see the skippers are starting to lean out a little bit and not quite bringing their crews up yet, but they're definitely leaning on the rail.
Yeah. And we got the Ledge Lighthouse out there. You can kind of see in the distance. There's actually a nice wind meter if you guys want to check in to see what the wind speed's clocking right now. You can go online and
you can definitely see those top skippers. They're leaning out, and that top boat they pulled ahead.
Yeah,
that's Sacred.
That's
Once
Sacred
again,
Heart,
they
yeah.
went left, and
Yeah.
they tacked across the whole fleet.
Yeah.
Just above lay and made it to the mark quite a bit ahead.
Yeah.
How'd they do the first race, Linz? You have the scores up there?
Yeah. which
Sacred
team are you
Heart.
looking at?
Sacred Heart, yeah.
Sacred Heart is
Ooh,
doing
16 sneaking in there, threading the needle right ahead of 20. That's 20 one's Tufts. They just couldn't quite get there in time.
Yeah, and 20 was ahead originally at the halfway up the
Yeah,
beat. So
they were. So
got
16
maybe a
had
little
a
more
good
lift, a little more lift, took it a little bit deeper, and came
yeah,
back
or
with a little more lift.
kept the boat a little flatter, got just a little more power, and managed to sneak in there.
Yeah. Let's see how they go downwind. It looks like they're going to be wing on wing to start off with.
Oh, Tuss is sneaking inside there to get the cover on, on the boats ahead of them, and that's the right move. Cover those boats, see if you can gain any ground.
And it looks like they already have overlap right now. So that's from our angle on boat number 16.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a gap now, going further out wide as other boats try to go more straight down the course. But yeah, it definitely looks like they have overlap.
And how much, do you know how far the other boat number 4 rounded behind these guys?
They were a couple boat lengths, but they weren't too far behind. They should be just outside the frame.
Okay.
Oh, and here 19 Sacred Heart working back toward the inside. I think they want to get some clear air. They're on that reach where the other two boats are on the wing on wing. Yeah. First around to that white lured mark is Sacred Heart, followed by Tuss, and one boat, I can't tell which, went to the other side. So we'll see if that pays off for them. The fleet's splitting here, but we've seen that left side seems to be paying off. Maybe they can pull back to the, work toward the middle and hold their own. But, if they can't keep pace with the rest of the fleet.
And that is boat 16 Bentley that took the opposite pin to round. Maybe just looking for some clear air there. We'll see.
Yeah,
how that
they were
works out.
probably trying to get out of the thick of the things with Tufts and Sacred Heart and all those other boats up there. But you can see all the boats are going out on starboard and then tacking back onto port. And it seems to be the way to go right now. I mean, the course seems to be pretty square, but the boats are just liking that left side. And once again, we might be getting that lift around this point that you see now. And here we are. We're going to take the drone back in, we'll swap the battery real quick and get you back in the air really fast. You
While
see
we're
our
doing
pit crew
that-
right there, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a quick reading from the Ledge Lighthouse weather station. So the average wind speed today is coming in at 8.9 miles per hour, gusting close to 11.5.
And that's a little further out too, so we might be getting a little less than that, but hopefully it is filling
still
in
just a
like
nice
that.
southerly sea breeze that's filled in for us, which is nice because this morning, if anybody was here to see it, there was no movement out there on the water.
Yeah. Here you go. You see the drone landing, and we'll get that back in the air real quick for you and get some video of the finishes. All right, like I said, we're getting you back in the air here. You see Brian, Colin. I can't tell who that other person is, but they got the drone right back in the air for you, and we'll get you back out for the finishes. All right, looks like we've got these technical difficulties figured out right now, knock on wood, but we're back in the air over the race course, and as I say that, our feed seems to have frozen.
All right, we've got boat 19 followed by boat 20, then 16 coming across now.
Bentley just finished in third place.
And we've got boat 21 coming in.
21
That would be
following.
UConn.
So UConn wound up in fourth place. Decent set for them. They got a 2-4.
And boat 22 will be finishing in the next minute or so.
It's boat 22. That'll be
UMass coming in
yeah.
fifth.
How'd they do the first race? UMass Amherst.
UMass Amherst, they got fifth for their last race.
So 5-5. Okay. So they're keeping pace. We've had a little bit of shuffling since the end of A fleet. Scores have changed quite a bit. We'll get you updated with them.
Go back.
No, I'll go.
All right, guys. Feel free to comment and let us know who's watching the stream. Are you at the regatta? Are you an alumni? How'd you hear about us? And let us know in the comments. We'll respond to you. And we're working on getting the drone back up. The third race, or they're doing the rotations right now. So we'll get you back up for the third race in A division shortly. We're saving the drone battery, getting them battery switched out and set up for this, these next set of races. All right, we're waiting for the start, race 5 here, first one, second set of A. We'll be live again here shortly with the, hopefully the drone back up in the air, and we'll get you some more live footage and commentary. Just bear with us for another second.
All right, coming into our next set of A division, we do have some updated scores for you guys. So leading the regatta right now in first place is Tufts.
Yeah, 6 points overall. They've done well in both A and B.
Yeah, they're really dominating in both fleets, and then they're followed right behind by Bentley, 13 points combined for A and B. We've got Sacred Heart behind them in third, 14 combined points. Amherst College in fourth with 15 combined points. University of Connecticut in fifth with 19 combined points. UMass Amherst is in sixth with 21 combined points. And pretty tightly close behind is Fairfield in seventh with 24 points. So it's a pretty tight competition.
Audio. And we're getting back out. We missed the first leg of this second set of A, but we'll get you some video here now.
Get everyone caught up on where we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'll see who's leading after this first leg. So look, we got a bunch of 3 right here in the lead again to start
boat number 17.
17, that's Bentley.
Bentley's coming out strong in their second A set.
Yeah, wing on wing out in front. Let's see, 19 right behind them. That's Fairfield. How'd they do in the first day, Fairfield? I think they were somewhere near the middle, right? First A, they had a 5 and a 5, so they were right in the middle fleet, so they're having a good race for themselves. We have Giles Ruck and Serena Eldridge in Fairfield. Both young sailors. We have Giles is a sophomore and Serena's a freshman.
Rounding behind Fairfield, we've got boat 22, which is UConn, coming in so far in third place.
It looks like they didn't have the tightest rounding. That you can see they dropped a little bit below Fairfield. But that's Annie Longo and Antonio Pisani. in,
Boat 21 behind
UConn.
them, that's going to be Tufts in fourth place.
One, every boat seems to have gone to that left side pin. You can see they're kind of just lined up here. I'm not sure if it's the wind or they just finally figured out that left side is favored. But you can see they're in a little bit of a drag race here on the mark. They just all went out to starboard and tacked right over onto port and head up to that mark. You can see this is 17. That, would we say, Bentley out in front, rounding the mark smooth. Got a little bit of a lead, maybe 1 or 2 boat lengths, followed closely by tight rounding for Fairfield. Held them off, and they actually seem to have just built the lead, those 2 boats out in front.
We can definitely see the winds picking up out there as well. From the last reading at the lighthouse, we're averaging 13 miles an hour.
Oh, and that's a big difference. 5 miles an hour, that's nothing. And I know the lighthouse is a little bit further out, but...
Yeah, and we can definitely really see how some of these sailors will be able to compete with the heavier breeze, especially compared to this morning. We talked to some of the teams this morning and just asked them to share some information about their teams. Amherst College told us that they sail best under no wind conditions, so we'll see how they do in here. They seem to be holding on pretty well.
How was their first set? And we can see how they are doing in this. But the 5 miles an hour definitely makes a difference for how people sail.
You know, the nice thing about the FJ is it's a little bit less sensitive to weight conditions and wind conditions, in that you don't have to worry about the lighter crews starting to be able to plane on any of these waves as the wind builds a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely really helpful.
So, I mean, once again, we got these 2 boats. 17, that's Bentley. They just jibed it right over onto port, and they're coming in for the finish. But, I mean, Fairfield seems to be gaining on them a bit. So we'll see at the finish if they manage to gain anything or catch up to Bentley. But right now, it looks like Bentley's just going to come in smooth for the easy finish and the big win to start the second set of A. Tight finish there. I couldn't quite tell who was ahead
19
there.
looked like Fairfield was really up there.
Yeah,
Followed
Fairfield
by
does.
17, Bentley.
We might do one more race, see how it is.
21, Tufts.
Just say Roger that, Brian.
Yeah. And this is a tight finish right here. I can't quite tell who pulled it out, but between 16 and 18, that was UMass and UMass Amherst. And I was talking to them in the parking lot this morning, and I heard there might have been some tight competition between those 2 schools, some Massachusetts competitive rivalry there. So they might have been throwing some barbs out on the water between them 2 and toward the end of the fleet. One.
So talking to our race committee, it sounds like they may be thinking about calling it after 4 more races. So we've got A out there now. They just finished their 4th race. So we'll hold A out for a 5th race, and then we'll switch to B, and B is going to do 3 races just to even it out. This isn't set in stone yet, but that's just the word on the water right now.
Yeah, it sounds like what they might be doing. So we'll see. It looks like they might be changing the course a little bit, bringing it to the left to compensate for that. More power on the left, or I'm not quite sure if it was, wind shift to the left or just a big lift on the left side. But we could see that the left side of the course was definitely favored there. All the sailors rounded that leeward mark that brought them over to that side of the course, and they kind of all followed each other right up the course on that side.
This is our crash boat here. We got a really good support team on the water. I believe
like
that's Kimberly Jackman, Andrew Silhavy, and I can't tell who the third is.
John Huzel.
John Huzel, all 3 UConn alumni, putting in their time today, volunteering, coming out, helping to run this regatta.
Yeah, big shout out to them and the other alumni that are putting in the time to come back and support the team and college sailing. So.
It is a beautiful day to be out on the water and lovely spot.
Oh, I'm sure that's exactly why they're here. So, who doesn't love an easy day on the water?
Oh, yeah.
So. Well, we're up to 9 viewers right now, so I want to thank you all personally. Oh, back up to 9 viewers here, but unfortunately that drone footage just froze. We're getting another one in the air, and we'll get it up there for this next race. It'll be the 5th race in A division, 3rd in this set, and like Lindsay said before, we'll follow it with 3 in B to finish it up. And
so for those of you following along, a little bit of behind the scenes for you, we have 2 aerial drones being flown, and it's a little bit of a dance to shuffle which one is on the ground, which one's in the air, making sure the batteries are staying fresh and the feed is going live. So just give us 1 minute and we'll be back on for you. So reporting from Tech Scores, we've got the results from that last race. Tufts took 3rd place, but they're holding in 1st overall for the regatta. It was Bentley in boat 17 that won that race, so they're in 2nd place overall. They were followed by Fairfield with a 2nd. That really helped them. And 4th place was University of Connecticut. 5th place was Sacred Heart. 6th was Amherst. And 7th was UMass Amherst.
Brian, you live?
Want to go back to it?
I can.
It looks.
And we're back in the air. We're getting out there for the start. We just missed the start, but here are all the boats going out. Should be left side of the course. We'll see right now they're all on starboard.
Port.
They're all on starboard. Port. We got a tight mark rounding there, really intense. I got to see what boats those are, but this downwind could make and break these people's races. That looks like this boat here on the outside. Let's see.
It's like boat number 22.
22. That's UConn. Looks like they've made out really well around that mark rounding. Boat inside of them that jibed over 21. That was Tufts.
Rounded right
Always
behind
strong.
them.
A fleet. Yeah, Tufts fleet is Elena Gonick. And we got 17, 19 right behind them. That's we got Bentley again and Fairfield. These top schools are really going for it.
Sacred
UConn have a
Heart's
great
got
race.
good coverage too. They're in a great position to overtake if they wanted to, and you can really see the wind building up here today as the day progresses. And that's one great thing about this venue is, you pretty much get a reliably steady breeze when that sea breeze decides to fill in. It just builds and builds, and it makes for a lot of fun sailing.
And you can really see these boats are on the downwind. They're starting to rock a little bit. They're having a little bit of difficulty keeping the boat steady on that downwind. We're getting a little bit of waves causing that rock. And here we go, UConn way out in front, going around that leeward pin. Looks like boat 21 Tufts did not make out going to that left side. Every boat around the leeward mark before Tufts. 20 sneaking in there on 19. That's 20 is Sacred Heart sneaking ahead of Fairfield. And Tufts deciding to go the other side of the course here, try to make some ground on these leaders. And we'll see if it pays off for them here.
Yeah, well, they can't play follow the leader there. They gotta do some separate themselves. Try to get their clean air.
And UConn, you can see just the edge of our frame going out left side again, continuing to play that left side, seeing how it's paid off all day. Good roll tack and flatten. There you go. All right, well, at first we look like a good roll tack, but then, things happen, and then it seems like they've lost a little bit on that tack after all. That one boat coming over on starboard has passed them on starboard, and they're trying to regain some speed. See, what boat is that to the left? Can you tell?
That was the tough boat, I believe.
Far left is 21 is Tufts.
Tufts going to the other side of the course, then tacked back across, and now they're on the left side. That might have been the right choice. Get some clear air, tack back across, get inside. See, all the boats here in the frame are all on port, going up that left side. Even though the race committee moved the course, it seems to still be the way to go.
Thank you.
All right, these boats coming up on this windward mark. We got 4 of them right there, tight race. Around the mark first, we got, I think that's 17. That would be Bentley again. Bentley, good start. That's contact there. Looks like 21 there. Might have been in the wrong, I don't know. 20, boat 20 was in there on port. The Sacred Heart's trying to sneak in there. I want to see some circles there. Contact, you got to have circles.
They look like they may have fouled 21 and 22 coming in there.
Yeah, and that's 19 as Sacred Heart, or Fairfield, sorry, coming in behind to the...
And here they go with their circles.
Yeah, good. They're doing their circles. And
That is the nice thing about this sport. It's self-regulating.
yeah, it's always nice to see that when a sailor is in the wrong, they do their circles.
That is good. Of course, it doesn't help to know that there's instant replay available should they have to dispute anything.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for those boats behind that suffered from that foul, you see a separation now between these top two boats and the second set of two. And I think that's Bentley out in front, followed by Tufts. They snuck out in front. Tufts with that big leg going the opposite way from the rest of the fleet. You see him followed by those top two boats, followed by, I think, UConn, Fairfield, and then boat 20 there, Sacred Heart. Of course, trying to sneak in on that when we're marked, just couldn't quite make it. Looks like we have 21 about to finish, followed closely by, I think that's Sacred Heart. Yeah, 19 Sacred Heart in fourth place, and then
22
fifth place,
UConn,
so-
it looked like, had second place.
Yeah, it's tough to see the numbers there on that finish, but we'll get you the finish places quickly. And we're back up to 8 viewers again. Thank you, Wendy Pop.
Best
Yeah,
of luck
best
to
of luck.
Sacred Heart
It's-
University. Yeah, we love supporting all the teams out here, so thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, and once again, this is the Tyrell Trophy down at University, hosted by University of Connecticut at Avery Point, and we have seven schools here, between UMass, Amherst, Sacred Heart, Fairfield, Tufts, and Bentley. So it's always nice to get out here on a beautiful Sunday for some college racing. One, go.
So just want to talk about some of the teams that we have racing here today. So still in the lead, we have Tufts. They gave us some information about their team. They're from Medford, Massachusetts. They sail on Mystic Lake in Larks. They're practicing out there 4 days a week, and their goals for their team this season are to sail fast, and they certainly really do that. Every
Yeah,
time
and
they
it
show
shows
up.
in their ranking too. What did we say? They're 20th in the college rankings, and they're a competitive team right now. They're the top ranked team at this regatta. So
Absolutely.
and it shows in their finishes right now. They're in first. So
And, they definitely also have a bit of a disadvantage sailing on a lake this time of year. Their lake was frozen until about 2 weeks ago, so that definitely hinders their progress. With college sailing like this, you have such a short spring season, and if it's cold in the spring and you're on fresh water like that, you really don't get much of an opportunity to get out on the water and practice.
yeah, we'll get you started here right. In a few minutes with the fifth race in A division. We did 3 races in this rotation before we get B back out on the water, just to get a good rotation before the end of the day. So this will be A division's last race for the day. But
Some information from Sacred Heart. They are located in Fairfield, Connecticut, and they sail out of Captain's Cove in Black Rock Harbor in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They sail FJs and also some big boats, and they're again on the water 4 days a week. A couple of interesting facts about their skippers today. Alex, it's his first semester in the United States from Spain, and he sailed lasers overseas in Spain.
I mean, Laser is a worldwide boat, and I know
Going
they're
through some controversy
yeah,
right now.
they're going
but-
through some controversy with the builders, but they'll figure it out, and it's always a good boat to get some experience in.
And a very competitive class as well.
And we're live again with the next drone, and we'll get you back out for the start of this race. I hear the whistles going off now.
Sounded
and
like 30 seconds to me, Will, so we're coming in on the start very quickly.
yeah, hopefully we'll get over there, Pete, for the the actual start. There you go. Yeah.
And just to wrap up for Sacred Heart, their A skipper is Brian Hayes, and he was actually the 2018 Lightning Youth World
Hey,
Champion.
how do you do, Sacred Heart?
And Sacred Heart, he was doing well out there today. As the wind picked up, his finishes have definitely improved as well. So.
Oh, we didn't get his either, so. All right. We're coming in for the start. Last race at A division for the day. So.
Sounds like I was wrong on that whistle sequence.
Yeah, I don't see them setting up yet, but then again, it is college sailing, and sometimes they set up right before the start, and so
Could have
we'll
been the
see.
3-minute whistle. Let's see how we do.
That sounded
That's
like 30 seconds right
There's our
there.
30 seconds.
So we're looking at about 25
Nice
right
lineup
now.
of boats all trying to fight for that boat start.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think they want to drift down and maybe get a pin start. They've been paying off on the left side.
I'm
We've
sure there's a
seen in
little
some
bit
of
of
those
current as
previous
well.
races. Yeah, current can come around the point there. So we're at about 10 seconds now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the start. All clear. We're getting all clear. Boat's 21 taking off with speed in the middle. 21 is Tufts. That they're winning for a reason, and the start's right there. That's definitely part of it. Going left side.
Brian, you're getting a little choppy. Make sure you're not blocking.
Audio on. So we got. It looks like the boats are actually spreading out a little bit in this race. We have two boats taking it back left, but now they just tacked over onto port again. All the boats spread out across the fleet. You see them on port, and they're pretty even right now, so it's difficult to tell when they all tack back who's going to be out ahead. But I think those two boats in the middle are in pretty good position. And we're getting up toward the windward mark here. You see a couple boats tacking over and trying to hit lay for that mark. And we're going to get the footage up there in a second and see which boats are out in front. But you can see it's a close race between those top boats. That one boat just passed everyone on port. They managed to cross. Looks like a couple of those boats, 19 undershot lay, and yeah, 16 as well. They both have to tack back onto port and try and make it up to the mark. Brian, can you tell who those top boats are? Those top two?
Yeah, we got boat number 17.
17 rounding the offset there. Okay. So
And then we got 21 to follow.
Very nice. So 17 is Bentley still, and 21 is Tufts.
and then 22 right behind.
That
That's
would be UConn,
They're having another
followed
good
by
race.
Sacred Heart in boat 20, and
Sacred.
Fairfield in boat 19, and finally in boat 16 is UMass Amherst.
All right. Once again, thank you all for tuning in today. We're at UConn Avery Point for the Tyrell Trophy, one-day regatta. Some good college sailing on a beautiful Sunday out on the water. And it looks like they're going back down that left side of the course here. One boat trying to sneak in on the left on port, but all the other boats sticking to starboard and looks like wing on wing. And I don't know what you're seeing, Lindsay, but from the broadcast, it almost looks like the wind's died out a little bit. What are you seeing out on the lighthouse?
And in the lighthouse, their last reading was 16 miles per hour, gusting 17.7.
So I'm wrong. I mean, maybe it's building out there. Then they're getting some speed. But.
That lighthouse is always tends to err on the more moderate side, as we say.
Yeah, so the wind doesn't always make it quite as strong into the cove here where they're sailing, but.
Yeah. So we had first around that mark. We had one boat way out ahead, and second place goes the complete opposite direction. So we're getting a good split here at the leeward gate. 17. That is that's Bentley out in front again.
They've got a really strong A fleet, it seems. They've been doing really well in all of these races, and definitely putting in a good fight for the top of the fleet.
Yeah, I think they need some. This set they've had 2 firsts already, so they're trying to make it a clean sweep of the set with the 3rd first, and I think they really need it to catch up to Tufts, because Tufts has a pretty good lead on them right now.
Well, in the A division, Bentley's actually only 1 point behind Tufts. It's the B division where it'll be interesting to see what happens when they come out next and do 3 races in a row. Tufts has 9 points for A, and Bentley actually has 8 points for A, so they actually are beating Tufts in A overall for the day. But in the B division, Tufts has 3 points, and Bentley's got 7. So like I said, when they come out for the next 3 races for B, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see if they can hold this off. I mean, they definitely have a shot at winning the regatta. I mean, especially when it's so close. It looks like all these boats are back on port again, heading up toward the mark. That first tack over on starboard, followed by the tack back onto port, seems to be the popular, the popular way to go. And for those of you who've been watching us for a while, that seems to be what's been happening. And Bentley, with that favored left side, they and that early lead around that leeward gate, they've really pulled ahead. They're showing they've really read the wind today and shown that experience. I mean, they're going to be around the offset here before the next boat's around. Oh, never mind. I thought something was happening, but it wasn't. So, what happened? Whatever.
You love the enthusiasm.
We're all fired up.
I get excited.
Will's sitting on the edge of his seat here waiting for someone to fall in the
We're
water.
as excited as you guys are.
We
We're
have
ready
that
to go.
passion, and
I mean, we still got it. We got a race. We got a race for second, for
that's
sure.
what I was looking at.
Absolutely.
I thought those 2 boats were coming together. It was a little a fight there for the mark.
Looks like
but
21 is Tufts in second. 20 is going to be Sacred Heart in third, followed by 19 is Fairfield, just rounded the windward mark, going to the offset.
Oh, and we're having a split here. It looks like that top boat tried to take the outside, keep that clear air, but and it seems like they're doing it. But we'll see if there's a 3rd boat coming in behind them. Maybe they can steal some wind and affect the finishes.
We can try to connect you while this is still up.
Is that 19? That's Fairfield right there in 4th place. Yeah, it looks like 19, but they're all on wing, and who's in second there?
Second is
21.
21. That's Tufts.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean,
Fighting
they
with
should be in
Bentley
good
to keep
position
their
there.
position in first place.
Yeah, and they're outside though. They should be having good wind. They're wing on wing. The boats aren't really taking them out, covering them, so they should be able to stay ahead here and get a solid second place finish. I know Bentley, they're way ahead in first place, is hoping that 3rd place here can pass Tufts, but I don't think it's going to happen unless something really happens.
That's it. They just got the first place right there, boat number 17.
That's
17,
Bentley, yeah.
Bentley taking the 1.
And they're going in for the rotation for the last set of B, so.
And it really is a race to the beach. One of the great things about this regatta, the alumni, like we said, they come out and they host the entire thing, and we're on shore grilling all day. So when the sailors get off the water from all the teams, a little bit of a fight, coming in for second place.
It looks like Tufts was able to pull it out, and I can't tell who that was
Are you able to
fighting
get
with
down
them.
on the line at all?
I am.
Yeah. Oh, close race there. We'll give you the finishes shortly, but
Looks like there could be a potential protest in this race
Oh, it looks like boat 20, yeah, sailing over to the
That was
race
probably
committee.
from that foul that we saw at the
Yeah,
upwind
but they
mark.
did circles, so. And that was 20 who did the circles, right? That was the previous race, no?
Oh, maybe it was the previous race.
Yeah, well, all the races blend together, but, they're always exciting, so.
They may have just been checking if they were done too. They did 3 races, confirming that.
That's true.
That's probably what it
confirming that
was,
they
yeah.
could go
This isn't a normal thing to do.
take off
You know,
their
every
life
once
jacket.
in a while,
and-
you'll see that race will do 3 in A division and then send them in for 3 in B. So, yeah.
Sacred Heart Protesting Toughs we got.
Sacred Heart protesting Tufts. We just got the word in from the water, so it'll be interesting to see what
And
that's
that'll
about.
be big because once again in college sailing, you keep all your races. So if Tufts has to retire from a race or get disqualified from a race, that'll really throw a wrench in their first place so far. I mean, right now they're only 2 points ahead of Bentley and 2 after that finish. And if they get a DSQ, that'll really bring them down in the standings, and that would put Bentley up at first. And obviously, depends on the results of the hearing. But I don't know. I don't know where that foul was, but. And we'll get you back up here in a second for the first races in B division. And it looks like we got a little parking restricted problem here. I think we're gonna get in trouble. We got drones parking. Drones coming in on the no parking area here.
Big thanks to Lift&Sea for providing the drone coverage today.
And for all their help with all the technical work behind the scenes as well, keeping our sound on and our video on. And
Go to liftndsea.com for more information.
Yeah, and we'll get you back in the air now for the start of the last race.
while we're waiting on that, full information about our next team, we've got Fairfield University out of Fairfield, Connecticut. They sail out of Black Harbor in FJs, and they require each sailor to sail at least twice per week. Their goals for the season are to keep improving, and I hope that they do really well with that goal and just continue to get stronger. That's a goal UConn has had for a long time as well, and it definitely takes time, but we love to see the progress that these teams make. They did shout out to Dave White, a UConn alumni. I'm not sure if Dave White is one of their sailors or someone in their
The
staff.
coach?
He's their coach.
Dave White's their coach, yeah.
Oh, all right. So that's excellent.
One of the back in the day, sailing I think penguins on Coventry Lake. They had a fleet of penguins up there back in the 80s, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, they have a history of hiring UConn alum to help coach them. I mean, we had others, Jamie Fales coached, alum coached at Fairfield for a bit, and
We'll keep trying.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold that.
And test your audio.
And if you experienced a disconnection just now, just restart your stream. We'll get you back in for the second race.
I don't even think you need to restart it. It came in clear. Starting area, waiting for that start sequence to come to an end. Do we have a time?
I didn't hear any whistles.
They may not be in sequence yet, just waiting.
Yeah. Let's see the results.
There were 3 whistles there.
Yeah, it's 30 seconds.
That was 30 seconds. Okay, it looks like 30 seconds. Brian, can we get in there for some close-ups of the start line? I mean, once again, these last 3 races in B Division are going to be what determines the regatta. You can see they're setting up on the line, 20 inside by the committee boat. Look at 22 going across on port, causing issues. And this must be the start right there. Listen for the all clear. All right, I guess it sounds like they all cleared the line. All right, and
So some boats to watch for the next couple races. Tufts are going to be in boat 22. They're currently in the lead, but Bentley in boat 18, only 2 points behind them. We also have a tie for 5th place. Amherst College is in boat 19 and Fairfield in boat 20. So keep an eye on those boats. It's a tight race for them.
yeah, and you can see here one boat deciding to go to the right side against all the rest of the fleet. I think that was boat 17. That would have been
Boat 17, yeah.
UMass. Yeah, UMass. So let's see. Maybe that'll pay off for them. But like we've seen, the left side all day has been paying off. So hopefully, things change for that boat. Risky move. Bold move there, Cotton. You can't quite see any numbers, but you see these 2 boats right here heading up the middle are quite a bit out in front. And one boat taking it to the left, trying to bang a corner almost. Is that on the right side of the frame? Is that UMass Amherst up there?
It is. It looks like this didn't do too bad for him.
Yeah, it looks like they tacked across, and that clear air off the start instead of fighting with everyone else has really allowed them to catch back up or stay ahead.
Something else that could be factoring in is we're starting to establish some tide flow now too. That might play into these races.
Yeah, and they just docked that other boat out there that was on port. But I mean, if they're on lay, they're going to beat them to the mark. Who's that around the mark? Brian, can you see who that is in
Boat
first
number
place?
21.
Looks
Boat
like
number
21, and that's Sacred Heart with the big lead. How are
Coming
they
in
doing in
followed
B?
by
Sacred Heart in B is doing really well. They've got, you know,
Oh, look at it.
we've
4
only had
points.
Boat
2
on the
races
reach
in
mark there.
B so far, but they're in second place for B division.
And that's UMass Amherst, that big win on the far side, coming around second place.
Boat speed, clear air, all good
Is
stuff.
that 18 in third place? 18? So that's Bentley.
Yep.
Bentley,
Okay,
they
21,
need to hold off
17,
Tufts
18.
in this B division.
And it looks like they're doing that for now.
But once again, there's a protest on the water against Tufts from A, so that could throw all these results out the window.
And I believe that's Tufts right behind Bentley, giving them good coverage on the downwind.
It's
so.
22. Oh, it looks like they're getting inside. No.
No, they're gonna
No,
be
they-
lured
oh,
boat right
yeah.
here.
But they don't have rights. They're
Came
coming from
on
behind.
that one.
Yeah, coming from behind, you got to tack or jibe to reestablish overlap before you can head someone up. So,
Alongside 2 boat lengths.
yeah. But here they are. They're jibing onto the reach to get inside for that lured rounding.
And Tufts definitely knows how important it is to come on top of Bentley in this race, because that's their biggest competition right now.
And this is the freshman pair in Tufts here again. They did really well that first rotation in B, but sitting back in 4th place right now. And this is a 21, once again way out in front. That's Sacred Heart. And Sacred Heart, we have Alex Mormony and Wynn Simmons. Was Alex the exchange student you mentioned earlier? The one from
Yep, from Spain.
Spain, yeah.
It's his first semester
Laser
sailing in the
sailor.
U.S.
I mean, it shows that experience with the laser, competitive fleets. You can see 22 Tufts coming in with a big jibe. A good rounding considering, but Bentley able to get inside afterwards.
Oh, they're in 30 air now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you. Would you tack over there, Pete, or?
Yeah, you can't sit in dirty air, and they're doing that.
Yeah, and you can see they just tacked over, so. Real wide rounding from that boat in last, but they tacked over, and hopefully they can gain some ground. Is that 19? That looks like Amherst. Amherst had a big showing here today. They brought 7 sailors, and they're all ready. They've heard about how much fun this regatta can be, and they decided to bring the crew, get some experience. You can see boats all over the course right now. 17 down low, middle of the screen right now, and I think that's still 21. Yeah, I mean, still commanding lead for Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart's B skipper is once again the laser sailor from Spain. Once again, we got all kinds of people messaging in, texting in. And, Wendy, thanks for commenting. We appreciate it. Big shout out to Wynn and Alex.
They're really dominating out there today too. So the wind increasing seems to have worked out in their favor, and they're sailing strong.
And, we'd love to see this kind of thing from college sailing. We're trying to get into the modern technology, live streaming, and we're hoping that this kind of thing can become a little bit more regular in sailing as a whole.
And we appreciate your patience with us as we try to figure out how to integrate some of this technology. It's a bit of a challenge, but we'll work it out.
And you see, rounding the windward mark here is 16. It's UConn. Oh, 18. 18. Sorry, that's Bentley. Once again, yeah, they were trying to hold off Tufts. And it looks like that they didn't really do it. But
like we said, B's got 3 races out there today. We'll see what happens.
yeah, 16, that's UConn coming in there, 5th place.
Trying to flatten that boat around the rounding.
Yeah. So. It looks like there might have been a little bit of a wind shift there. They all just jibed to come back because those two boats behind are on port downwind.
Or are they just fighting for clear air?
They might be just fighting for clear air, yeah. And Sacred Heart coming in with an easy finish in first place. Way ahead of the rest of the fleet. Yeah, big win for them. They're going to gain some points out of that. Maybe make up some ground on these leaders. Looks like we've 22 coming in for second place. That's Tufts. They've made up some ground on this race, and that freshman skipper and crew pair is doing really well. Second place, and in third we have UMass. That's Ben Zhu and Eileen Devane, also a freshman skipper and junior crew. So we got some young pairings out there today, and really getting some good experience here down on the Connecticut shoreline. Once again, hosted by UConn at their Avery Point campus. So, yeah. Big shout out to Prescott Littlefield, the waterfront director here at UConn, for having us down here every semester and letting us use the equipment, the boats, the facility, all that. So. And we'll get you going again for the second race in B Division. Once again, we got 2 more races in B, and that'll be the regatta. So it's really coming down to the wire. We'll get you updated with scores in a second. One.
All right, so while we're getting ready for the next race to start, Brian is flying our drone for us, and he's going to give us a little aerial tour of the Avery Point campus here in Groton, Connecticut. It is a beautiful day especially once those trees start coming in. Just a really nice waterfront campus, great programs, marine biology, waterfront. We've got our parking lot here, and there you can see the main campus, beautiful lawns.
And this is the point.
That's the point there, for which Avery Point is named.
Yeah, and we definitely, that point plays a big factor in winds around the campus on the race course. So.
Not just winds, but the current as well. When the tide is coming
yeah.
in and out, it really tends to, spiral through as it comes around the point.
And as we head back into spring, too, a lot more greenery will come up and the usual stuff and flowers and all that.
We're based in that middle building there, the one that is behind the biggest trees. Those of you who have been with us since the beginning of our broadcast today probably remember which trees we're talking about. So we've got a bit of a disadvantage out our window, but thankfully the drone footage is giving us up-close footage of all of the action on the water.
And we really do have to thank Prescott for the wonderful room that we're working out of. We have all the amenities we could need, plenty of power outlets and good hookup to the internet.
Oh yeah, we got unlimited food and beverages. We're going crazy here. It's like a virtual, anything you could ask for. So.
The next teams that we want to talk about for a little bit are the two teams we have from Amherst, Massachusetts. We have Amherst College. They sail Lake Arcadia in Beldertown, Massachusetts. And I believe that UMass may sail in the same spot. They didn't specify the body of water. They both sail FJs 2 to 3 days a week. Amherst College, their goals are to go to regattas every weekend. So even for, lower level regattas like the Tyrell Trophy that we're here at today, we love when teams show up and give it their best and treat it the same as they would treat any other regatta.
And these two schools, they're competitors. They're in the same area. They see a lot of each other. They go to the same regattas. And I hear there's a little bit of in-state competition between them and some rivalry there. So I don't know if they'd be too happy with us sharing their information in the same breath. But it's all friendly competition in the end. So.
Amherst College gave us some information that we as UConn alumni can definitely relate to. They said that the boats that they practice in are older than every person on their team. So they've got a pretty old fleet of boats. UConn can definitely relate. I think UConn just bought their own fleet a couple of years ago, but before that they were sailing in boats from the 70s.
Yeah,
Amherst College
late
has some
70s
FJs from the 80s, and it's definitely always an interesting time sailing in older boats like that.
But, it's a learning experience. The old boats,
Absolutely.
You learn how to take care of them, you learn what matters, and you learn to value your stuff. And, hopefully those Amherst kids, they learn that, not everything is just given. And here we have the start of the second race. Boat 21 is just having to do a double tack there.
22 had a nice pin-in start of the line.
Yeah, and
Power.
they've 22 with power, has clear air now going to the left side of the course. And we'll see. Maybe they can tack across and make it back. And you can see the wind definitely built. Both the skipper and the crew were on the rail of the boat hiking out. And you can see them fighting the waves up and down in the in with the sail, the rigging is all going all over the place. And here they go with the tack.
Nice
see if
roll
they can
tack.
get a good roll, flatten. And we'll see if they can hold it on the outside, that left side. First to the left side seems to be paying off today. We've seen a couple exceptions, but they seem to be ahead here. And we do have a boat out on the right side of the course, but we'll have to wait and see if they manage to catch back up and cross. Beautiful shot of the Connecticut coastline here. I mean, we always love sailing at Avery Point, and I hope all these sailors really appreciate what kind of sailing they can get down here. I know in the Northeast we get a lot of lake sailing and river sailing, and this is kind of a unique facility in that it's on the shore on the Connecticut coastline on Long Island Sound. And 22, they had that good start. That's tough.
That was
Tough.
tough.
And they need this
Yeah.
win, especially
Yeah.
if they wind up getting DSQ'd in that protest in A division. They really need this win, this point. And way out ahead, 2 boat lengths, 3 boat lengths ahead.
And who's that right behind them?
Yeah, we'll see just to the left of the screen, 21 rounded in second place. Sacred Heart, they had a big first race. They won by a mile, and we'll see if they can catch back up to Tufts and make it a competitive race. But right now, Tufts is a good margin ahead. And 17, UMass, they're having a good race here. 3rd place around the windward mark.
And one thing to notice is that as the velocity picked up, we got a little chop, so it's not as flat as what earlier was this morning. And you can kind of see that the skipper and crew combination are working to keep the boat flat and in control, stable downwind.
And you can see it upwind too. The
Yeah.
boat, the rigging was all rocking and everything else. You can see these top 4 boats seem to really have separated themselves. And once again, in B division, we have a lot of young sailors here today. Freshmen, sophomores, a lot of freshmen, sophomores here today. They're getting their good experience on the Connecticut shoreline. That top bunch is Tufts, followed by Sacred Heart, followed by I think that was UMass, And who's in
Vote
fourth
number
place?
17 and then 18 going in that pack of 4.
So yeah,
Yeah.
UMass is 17.
And 18,
then
Bentley in fourth place. Bentley's got to make some moves here if they want to keep pace with Tufts and
Now,
those
what's
other
the
top
spread?
schools.
What's the spread between Tufts and Bentley?
So after that last race, Tufts has 16 points overall, and Bentley has 20. It's a 4-point spread.
But we do have that protest hanging over A division right now against Tufts, so
Yeah,
we'll have to see how that plays out, and
Right now,
that could
Tufts
really
is
throw the
rounded
scores
first.
around.
Tufts rounded first. Bentley, I think, is still in fourth.
Yes. So that puts 3 points on them right there.
Yeah, I mean they got to be ahead by 8 if they want a shot if they get DSQ'd, but right now we got 22, 21, 17, and 17. That's UMass making the attack across to the right side of the course. They don't want to follow the leaders. They're hoping to be aggressive and make some gains.
So we just had a question from one of our viewers that messaged us in, and they were just wondering from the legality standpoint if footage like this could be used in a protest. And that's something that I've never considered before, you know, as we're entering this new age where these races are being filmed and there is a digital, you know, physical evidence. Is that something that, you know, any of you have encountered before?
I mean,
I guess the thing is, you know, we're separated right now. The alumni are coming back to help out. So this is kind of our own personal undertaking, as they say. So, you know, in terms of legality and using this stuff, I think it's more of a learning experience. We're at a lower level regatta. You know, I hope that we use this footage to help out and to teach. And we'll see, I guess, in terms of, you know, that's definitely the question of the day.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see going forward as this becomes something that's more and more common as more and more events become televised and broadcasted like this.
I mean, so generally, you're not allowed to have video equipment on the boats, but you know, drone footage and video coverage from shore is a whole different story. So, I mean, once again, we'll have to check the rule book, and race committee will have to check the rule book and see if it's admissible, and then we'll have to go through it and see if we even have footage of the incident. I don't remember seeing an incident against Tufts, and there might have been something that we missed. We weren't on the water the whole time, so. So we're just running out of battery on that first drone, so we're getting the second drone in the air right now hopefully for the finish of that race. But you could see that those top two boats were, pretty much set in their spots. That was Tufts followed by Sacred Heart, and that Tufts finish once again. They need that finish, especially if they wind up getting disqualified from that one race in A. And once again, thank you for everyone tuning in today. We got 12 viewers, and every viewer we're glad to be out here giving you some entertainment. And if you're watching, feel free to comment on the stream, and we'll make sure to address it. Big shout out to all you guys out there who are supporting. And we're back here, right for the finish here. 2 boats coming in. That's got to be, I would assume, that the second set of 2 out of that group of 4 in front. 17 in 4th place. That's UMass. And it would have been Bentley. Bentley must have pulled the pass on UMass. And that's big for them because they only lost 2 points against Tufts. So we'll get you going here for the last race of the regatta. We had 4 races total in B now, and we're doing 1 more in B, and we'll have 5 in each division, and that'll be the end of the regatta. So it's all down to this last race. And we're getting started here for the last race. I think sequence was just about to start, so we should be going any minute now. And here we have the updated results. We have
Tufts pulling ahead of Bentley a little bit with that last race. They took a first, Bentley took a third, so it's now a 5-6 point spread.
Yeah, 17 points to 23. And it looks like we're starting to see the final results come together, but we have a couple outliers there, especially with the Tufts protest. And we'll have to get back to you with the results of that. But
I'm actually going to see if I can post the scores in our comments here if anyone's interested in checking them out.
And thanks, Bill Simmons, for tuning in to watch. And the rest of you 13 viewers, 14 viewers now.
This is great. 14. We got 14. Is that the high for the day?
Yeah, 14 souls decided to watch us for entertainment.
And, thanks, Sacred Heart, for all the enthusiasm. Looks like you guys are sharing the link far and wide and got a good showing out here.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is what racing should be like, you know? Just class action, you know.
Couple of people out here on beautiful day down in Connecticut shoreline, and
I think for the next regatta we have to figure out how we can broadcast from out on the water so that we can be out enjoying the beautiful day too.
Yeah.
I'll
we're
be
like,
the baby.
Like in a dungeon
You don't know.
right
If we're out on the water, I might take off the shirt, show you all the hairy chest.
Good thing we don't have the camera going well. Good thing we don't have the camera.
Oh, it's getting a little hot in here. I don't know.
Easy does it. Oh man! Well, thank you, Shannon and Chris Baker were on the coach boat. So they were on the water all day. We had Kimmy, John, and who else was on? And Andrew. Yeah. So the five alumni holding it down all day on the water. So
yeah, and special thank you to Andrew and John, who both brought donuts to keep all us alumni happy at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
These college sailors are used to waking up for these regattas, but us alumni seem to have forgotten.
Yeah, we're just waking up for work instead, right? But
there we go.
All right, I think we're. Pete, are you hearing any whistles over there?
I can't hear them, but it looks like we're close to start.
All right, as soon as we hear something, we'll.
No, we're on it, Will.
That was 3 minutes right there.
No, that's a go. That's a go.
That was go. They weren't even on the line.
That boat 21 again, getting the pin.
Wow.
Looks like they were over.
They didn't even really get a set up there. Those boats were way far from the line.
the last race of the day, maybe they're just taking a little bit easier.
What is 21? That's Sacred Heart first off the line. Oh, no, they were over. So they're rounding back around the pin.
Looks like it's going to be
Let's see where
22 and 17
Yeah, where's
in the
22
lead.
at?
22 is Tough, 17 is UMass.
And 21.
Also 16 and
tacking
18
back
up
over.
in the
They're
front.
getting stuck in
Oh,
the
we
middle.
got Shannon waving on the boat. Hello there. We see ya.
All right. Oh, it's fun.
We got
So here we are on the left side. You see boats starting to tack over onto port again.
17. Yep, tacking over on port. Everyone else hanging on the starboard. It looks like 22 is tacked out far left. They're crossing on port. Looks like they're still in the lead off that start.
And you see one boat taking it wide out to the left.
Yeah, you know who that
before
was?
the tackle.
That red sailboat?
18.
18, okay.
18, that's Bentley. Yeah, and they're trying to, they need a big finish here to catch up. And they're 6 points back on Tufts, but if
Yeah,
they
what's their
stay
score?
within 8 if they stay within 8 on the final scores here, they have a shot with the protest. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean we have 17 for Tufts, 18 for Bentley, and 30 for Sacred Heart, are the top 3.
I don't know where you're seeing 18 for Bentley. 23 for Bentley, 30 for Sacred Heart.
It's a long day.
Yeah. Long day out in the sun.
The donuts,
and,
you know.
They're bringing us the donuts and giving us the royal treatment over here. Next thing you know, we'll get massages.
So we got a couple comments in. I
and
just
honestly, it's
Mark rounding, folks.
We got Mark rounding here. It's
about 22. Again, that was the start.
22. That's
off
tough.
the start,
Right off
yeah.
the start, followed closely
18.
by 18.
That's
is
Bentley. So
Bentley.
they're going to
So
be.
those are the top 2 boats there fighting for the top spots in the regatta.
Yeah.
And I think Sacred Heart's been doing really well in B division, but they were over early at the start. They had to round, and it really cost them here.
Yeah. And it looks like the third boat is UConn in boat number 16.
Oh, big shout out to them. That's Ryan Young and Evan D'Agostino.
Yeah.
They're doing really well this race, both sophomores.
Wow.
So
Yeah, we got a good race here. Pretty tight. No
It
one's
is a
really
nice
broken
tight
out.
race.
mhm.
There's definitely room to make some gains on this this portion. The race is still young.
Yeah, definitely, and everyone's close, like you said.
Yeah, this is nice.
So,
Beautiful.
I mean, we've seen a couple races where those top boats have really broken away, but this race, they're stuck.
Yeah, we got-
It's a tight fleet.
Yes, very
And
tight.
if Bentley can make up even one position on Tufts, like again, we have this protest looming over their head. There's only a 6-point spread right now, so any points they can make up may end up being beneficial for them down the road, depending on how that protest goes. We do have a question from one of our commenters in regards to will we live stream anything related to the protest. Again,
we got drone footage only.
we have drone
Yeah.
footage only, and I don't believe the race committee is going to allow us in on the protest room.
I mean, as
that
much
being
as we'd
said,
love to
This
see
is
that drama.
I'm sure we can post the
That being
results in
said,
the
the-
comments.
yeah.
The results
Yeah.
we can see, and Lift&Sea has been providing the footage. We got
Yeah.
we've been helping out, setting up here. We want to give it to the viewers. This is the reason for this footage is to
Right.
give that live
Right.
stream of the regatta.
Yeah, I don't think anyone from Lift&Sea is quite ready to sneak on a body camera and go into the protest room and see what they can find out. But any updates we do get, we will share with you guys.
And you can see here, coming into that leeward mark, we got boats on port, starboard. All right, I mean, we got some tough, tight
17.
action here. 17 on port going into
Yeah.
the mark.
They look like they've got the
They're
inside room,
inside,
but
yeah.
okay, perfect. I thought it might be a little tight for them.
Oh, if 21 could have slowed down a little bit, they could have got inside and made a nice wide and tight rounding there. But the inexperience of some of these sailors just, it's a learning experience, and maybe that's something they would
Time-
see
yeah,
and,
time
and
on the
learn.
water. Oh,
Time
we got-
on the
look at- we
water.
got 20
and they're
and
tacking
19.
back into 20 and 19 here. Yeah, I mean, that was smart trying to get clear air. They were stuck behind 17. They wanted to tack over, but 17 seems to be tacking over to cover them.
Yeah.
17 is UMass. They want to hold their position. I'm sure that Yeah, 21, Sacred Heart wanted to move up and make some gains by going the other way.
Yeah, I think 19's got to tack out right here. They're pinching up a little too much. You can get in dirty areas. You can see, I think that was boat number 20 ahead of them. Just kind of pushing ahead. So that's
Yeah, you can you can see that, and maybe a more experience in the boat, and would show them that they need to tack over and then tack back at least to get some clear air.
yeah, time in the water. I think time in the water.
Yeah,
and we got a young team, lots of young people here at this regatta.
Absolutely.
So. Oh, we got
mostly sophomores and freshmen here today. So
look at the 1-2. We got a little tack over onto port, to cover. Look at this.
And that's the best part of sailing. You get some action.
We're coming up. This is the last upwind beat right now. Is this?
Yeah, this is the last upwind beat of the day.
Yeah. Coming over to cover. That was Tufts tacking on top of UMass, I believe, right?
No, it's Bentley.
Oh, Bentley
in second place.
Yeah.
These top two boats, and that's the training of Tufts and the experience of Tufts, that they really know how to play a fleet, and tacking over to cover is exactly what you should do in that instance.
Yeah, and Tufts, like you said, they
cross and tack over, pocket the win.
And Tufts has always been a dominant team in New England, and they practice with a big group of people, so they have a lot of depth to their team. They get experience. Even the younger guys are getting the experience they need to come to these regattas where, there's a little less experience, but you can see them.
And they pull ahead.
Right now.
That's a freshman duo on the water right now, and they're doing really well. And look at that lead they've pulled ahead. Yeah. Pocketing the win. They tack across, tack on top of the other team, give them dirty air, and just keep going and doing your thing.
Yeah, that was great. And look at the separation they got. Just having good roundings right there on boat 18 on Bentley. So that was
And you see 16 and 21 here. 16 is UConn and 21 is Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart fighting from that over early at the start.
Yeah, they're coming back. I mean, look at they're inside right now.
You see a little trouble there from UConn trying to get the sail out for wing on wing.
Yeah.
But they're in good position here inside Sacred Heart, and we'll see if they can hold them off for the finish. It's followed by 17 too.
It's definitely going to be a close one. I think we kind of know the outcome. We got Tufts going to be finishing in first on this race, it looks like.
Yeah, the way out in front, and followed by Bentley, but it's tight here for third place.
Yeah. And we got a nice little side angle perspective, so we can see they kind of pushed out. UConn has drawn back a little bit. It's going to be a tight one.
Yeah, UConn, that sophomore duo of Ryan and Evan.
21 jibes over. So Sacred Heart jibes over to separate out a little bit. Let's see what they do. Maybe get a clean lane, because you had 17 kind of sitting on top of them, UMass.
Yeah, and see if UConn can hold the clear air out on the outside, or maybe they'll have to drive back. We'll see. But
let's see.
I mean, from this angle, it looks like they're falling a little bit behind, but yeah.
It's always better to be on the outside of these boats,
it looks like 16 has to jibe over. Maybe we had a wind shift there that's causing everyone to jibe over. Oh, 16 looks like getting some speed there a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. But again, outside of the boats, you get stuck in the middle, the breeze kind of goes around the boat. So the middle boat kind of gets a little wind shadow from... 21
has to jibe. And this is going to be a close finish. It looks like 21, Sacred Heart pulled it out, followed by UConn, and then... I think that was UMass. UMass coming from behind there. Yeah.
And I just heard it was, UMass got it, then UConn, and then boat number 17 finished off the last other one. All right. So, and we got boat number 20. That's we got Fairfield finishing right there. And who was the last boat?
And once again, I mean, our last team here was the UConn team, which we really haven't even talked that much about. But one of the things they had to say was that they're glad to be out here today, and they think they're better than the UConn D1 football team. So
those are some big statements, but we certainly like to hope so.
I mean, the football team at UConn, not known for its acumen on the playing field, but hopefully the UConn sailing team can do the opposite. But So once again, big thank you to all the people putting this on, the UConn alumni, Lift&Sea, and the alumni running the races. And
Yes.
Here are the boats go in,
And we
in
made
for the
out with
last
some good
rotation. And
wind filled in. We got a nice view in. You know, I think we.
yeah, we had that wind delay this morning.
Yeah.
But
And see, this is the rotation. You know, we didn't see too much of this because we were doing our switches of drones and everything. But Avery Point really has a really good setup. They're able to just launch and pull in. They got the nice little breakwater to keep things calm. You know, when big waves come in, it gets a little hairy. You know, but great venue. Again, as they spoke before, big thank to Prescott and the Avery Point sailing team down here putting it on. And they, little history, these boats are actually Coast Guard's old fleet. They were picked up, they picked them up, they trailed them behind a boat, shuttled them over, because Coast Guard and Conn College are up the river. It kind of panned back away. To the left, that's where Coast Guard practices on the Thames. But yeah, this is, as you can see, this is a great spot, and really great venue. And the breeze is always, you know, you get a nice sea breeze.
Yeah, we were talking to Prescott earlier today. He said that he was out this winter.
they said 34 days already this year.
34 days this year, 2019.
And they got every week of the year they already had.
How about the
sailing.
teams that were still at ice? Do they have ice boats up there?
Yeah.
Is that how they get on the water?
That's one thing about, you know, Long Island Sound doesn't freeze quite as easily as some of those lakes. So.
Yeah.
And one thing to just clarify, when I say Prescott, they've been out 34 days, we're not talking about
That's
the
him right
UConn
there in the
Stores
bottom
team.
corner.
Yes.
We're actually talking about UConn's Avery Point Sailing Club and
Yes.
his sailing programs there.
Yes.
UConn Stores, they actually sail in Coventry Lake by their campus about an hour from here. They just bought a relatively new to them fleet of Vanguard 420s, 9 of those, and they're saving up to buy a new fleet of 420s or FJs. But Prescott does us a huge favor by letting us use his boats and use his facility and come out here, put on this event every year, because it's just really a lot more accessible for other schools to come in and compete.
Pete, whatever you. Yeah, and just to note, you know, the boats we're using here, like I said, the FJs, but they had UConn used to have Larks down here.
Mm-hmm.
Harvard's
the
old
Larks were, yeah.
Harvard's old fleet of Larks.
I think Harvard had them from 78 to 82, and you know they got passed around for a while, and we wound up getting them. But
Yeah. And they were a little bit challenging in the waves, you know, big.
Some might say exciting.
they were definitely
good lake boats.
Yep.
you
Good
know.
lake boats that we sailed in
definitely
the
played
ocean.
pretty
Beach
well.
launch, not so much. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah,
know.
but the planing. Don't
Yeah.
forget the planing and big waves.
Nice
and big
aluminum
breezes.
centerboard with
Yeah.
a beach launch.
Oh yeah, that was a riot.
But
But yeah, so this is it's great. Look, you get out on the beach, you walk up right onto this hard blacktop over here. Prescott's got a nice little section blocked off. You guys see all the whole fleet of boats that, you know, we definitely can have more people down here in the future.
And it's nice to just sit on the breakwater too. On a nice day, you can watch the boats, bring some binoculars, and
you don't even need binoculars. That's the nice thing about this venue. I mean, you can see the racer
Well,
right there.
And we got the coverage. Don't forget about the coverage we got. We got the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
drone coverage to really get you the first-hand experience on the boats.
All right, guys.
I
You know,
just also wanted to
once
say a
again-
quick thank you, Bill Simmons and Wendy Pop, for coming in and you know keeping us invested in the chat and commenting and watching.
Yeah,
They
we
said
love
that
this.
You enjoyed watching. We enjoyed putting it
Yeah,
on for you
we
guys and
appreciate
anyone
all
else
you
who's
guys,
watching.
all you viewers and all you people watching out there. Definitely, thank you for coming and supporting.
Yeah, definitely pass this link along. This thing will be on the YouTube.
Yeah,
the
I'll,
YouTube to view and use and all that good stuff.
I think we're
but
just at about 2 hours, so
yeah, this is great.
not bad.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
You
just
know.
fast forward the first 20 minutes. I think most of that was just trees.
You know, the technical difficulties at the beginning. We did
But
get
big
some
thi-
footage and
Big
but,
thanks to everyone here. Pete definitely holding it down with the
Absolutely.
technical support. Without him, you know.
Or to blame.
Yes, and he's commanding the drone right now, and big thanks to him for helping out. And
if you can hear that beeping in the back, that's our final low battery of the day, I believe.
yeah, we're
just
bringing
gonna-
home. But look at this shot. Look at this shot of Avery Point. You know,
Beautiful campus.
Beautiful campus.
Beautiful place to sail.
You
and,
know.
You know.
It would have been nice to be outside, but hey, we'll do this. I'll hang out with you guys. We'll have
It's
some
only
fun.
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, if you don't mind me getting it a plug, we're right across the river. We're doing the Sunfish North Americans
Yes.
for women in the fall this year. So if you got a sunfish at home,
Or
and-
know someone who has a sunfish.
or even just want to sail, we'll find you a boat.
And if not, make sure you enjoy the
Yeah, I mean-
broadcast.
Especially,
we're gonna be live broadcasting for the race.
Yeah, well, live broadcast Women's North Americans is a welcoming regatta.
What's the date on that?
It's October 4th to 6th. And, if you don't have a boat, we'll find you one. It's 2019 Sunfish
Women's North Americans. Yeah, it's going to be at Niantic Bay Yacht Club in October. It's going to be a really fun event. And we really look forward to being there and sailing and bringing this all to you.
Yeah,
There's
thanks for
Kat. She
joining.
did a great job with us.
Thank you, Kat.
Changing
Very,
our batteries
very
today
nice.
and launching our
She's
drone.
doing great.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, no, definitely big thanks to that.
but anyway, this is, we had Pete Giuliano here, UConn alumni 2010, and former UConn coach in 2011. We have Brian Precon here, in former UConn coach as well. You see Brian Precon right here on my right. Me, Will Kresick, UConn grad, and Lindsay Stockwell.
All you
Yeah,
kind
this
grads.
was
So
the,
there's Pete over
We
there.
had the camera off when we Pete, so Pete,
Pete.
technical man behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Doing great.
absolutely. And if you haven't had a chance to see our setup, we got six monitors,
Wow.
4
Wow.
computers, a mic.
Yeah, give us a little tour there.
Yeah,
Lindsay. She provided the camera. You know, we got everything. We got all the information. You know,
Right. You
This is
know,
how we did it.
All right. We had all of our rotations and our skippers and crews.
it's been a day, and thank you all for tuning in. It really
Charging
makes it
station.
worthwhile, and it's been a riot. So.
Yeah, and big thanks to
UConn Sailing
UConn
and-
Sailing team.
Lift&Sea. There they are.
Lift and See.
So, thank you for joining us. We're signing out.